Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Saturday Night Live, and I'm your host, Jaime Pineda. Tonight, our special guest is Mark Robinson. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was a reenactment of events happening on the north end of town. Here with us today, we have Mark Robinson, who has been a lifelong resident in the town where these occurrences are happening. So, Mark, what do you think happens in the woods?
I think these girls are going into the woods to engage in demonic activities such as a sex cult. There has been talk in the town of these girls sneaking off at random times in the night, and frankly, we have no idea. All we know is that they are quiet and keep to themselves. They are hiding what is truly happening. We have heard talk around town that these girls actually drink the blood of dead animals and engage in witch activities. At this point, these girls could be up to anything.
So, Mark, Miss Warren is claimed to be the leader of the so-called cult. What can you tell us about her childhood that would lead her to become a cult leader?
Mary Warren was a troubled child in a troubled home. Her mother was one that didn't pay attention to what her daughter did as a child. Mary did not do well in school either. She was always the troublemaker in the class. I believe that Mary Warren did these terrible things due to the lack of attention she received at home. She is a heartless, troubled little girl who should be punished for her terrible actions.
A sex cult. Interesting. Do you think that has something to do with the death of Lavinia Hall?
I do. I think that the death of Lavinia is not a coincidence. These girls go into the woods in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden a girl's killed herself. Why? Why would a perfectly sane girl resort to killing herself if it wasn't for the demonic acts that Mary Warren encouraged in those woods?
Emily Gehring is a student from David Johnson Junior High that spoke out about her time in the Sisterhood. In her first confession, Emily Gehring claimed that Mary Warren had slipped her a small white piece of paper. Inside, she discovered that the paper was completely black. She was to speak to no one about the note and to meet in the church parking lot, where she was met by 3 girls. At that point, they led her into the woods, and Emily claims that they began fondling and kissing her breasts. Mark, what do you think about this confession?
I think her first confession was all true, though I think she ended up taking it back because they threatened her. It wasn't until after the death of Lavinia when Emily spoke out about what truly happened in the woods.
In her second confession, she took back all her previous statements and then stated that the girls just sat in the woods in complete silence.
Yes, that's correct. It's a fucked up situation, and I don't think I can personally forgive her. Her lies caused the death of a human being. All for actions and all for her not being able to be a part of the Sisterhood.
Thank you so much for your input and time, Mark. Well, there you have it, folks. The crazy story of the Sisterhood tonight.
All for actions. Fuck.
Bit her a small white piece of folded up paper.
Find any attention to. Wait, what?
The paper was completely black. She was able. Fuck! Fuck!